Hey everybody, today's ride we're doing the majority of the Pay Dirt 2026 route. This is a gravel race, is in my hometown, Carson City, Nevada, and we wanted to try it out. We were a little wary to pay the $230 entry fee, so we decided just to do it for free the next day. I spent my youth four-wheeling and trail running some of these sections, and I haven't been out here in decades, and I've never ridden a bike out here. So we are taking on 63 miles of the 72-mile route. I don't have a lot of experience gravel riding. My little brother and sister are both mountain bikers, so they're going to do great. And it's me, who's pretty much and exclusively a roadie, who's going to struggle and learn a lot. This is definitely the longest gravel ride I've ever done. The bike I'm riding today is probably a little weak in the tire size arena. This is my old 2021 Specialized Roubaix with the largest gravel tires that I could fit in it, and they're only 35s. I did make some adjustments to the chainring and the cassette size to give me more of a gravel ride feel. And the Roubaix has a future shock stem, so couple that with the lower gravel tire pressure and it should give me kind of a smoother ride, which it did. Anyway, we rolled out from my mom's house about 8 a.m. and headed up toward Prison Hill. Now, I was amazed. They have really done some work here. These used to be all super rocky single-track paths we'd run. And now, as you can see, these are groomed champagne gravel. There's bathrooms up there now. There's a parking lot. It's quite a bit different than when I was a kid. Anyway, that section connected us out to the back of Carson River Road, and then on to the Mexican Dam, another area I used to run. And this section looked pretty much the same as I remember it. Mexican Dam dumps us out onto Silver Saddle Ranch, and then we connected back up on the tarmac along Deer Run Road. There's a lot of nice houses out here with lots of land. And Deer Run Road then connects us out to the first big climb of the ride today. And this is known as Brunswick Canyon. And it's probably about an hour, we'll probably spend about an hour doing climbing up here. Now, Brunswick Canyon is like classic four-wheeling territory. Like, I've taken my Jeep up here, my old GMC truck. I have spent a lot of time up in these canyons, especially in high school. I may or may not have spent a lot of nights drinking beer and shooting rabbits up out here in this area. On a bike is a completely different matter. This was really a rocky section. My 35s honestly struggled a bit here. We crossed a lot of creeks. It was pretty slow going on the climbs, a bit technical. The scenery was incredible. It's beautiful. And, especially when we got to the very top, there's this big kind of flat plateau area, and it's just open. It's just beautiful. And then, anyway, we got across that part, and then we started down a 5-mile descent into the Minden-Gardnerville area, and along this road called Johnson Lane. Everybody in the area knows Johnson Lane. Anyway, take Johnson Lane down, and that's going to kind of kick us off to the kind of the second section where we're going to meet my brother. Anyway, it's about this time that the predicted gusty winds kicked in, and gusty is an understatement. These were the strongest winds I've ever ridden my bike in. Now, these were northerly winds. Does that mean it's coming from the north? Yeah. So anyways, and we are headed west. So it was crosswinds. And I could literally watch my sister leaning maybe like 5-8 degrees to the right to try to just go straight on these winds. It was insane. And then it was kicking up that Carson City, Nevada dust and blowing it in our face, which is really thick and just hits you. It's painful. And that was something else. I have never ridden in crosswinds like that, man. I am sure glad I wasn't on my road bike with some 60 mil deep wheels. Anyway, that was interesting. We got across that. We got across the highway and then on to Genoa, where my brother was waiting. He actually rode out and met us on the way there. and he's joining us for the second half. He rode his bike out though to Genoa. He said he had a tailwind the entire time. It was fantastic. And then probably the toughest part of the entire course was when we hit these headwinds. So we had to head north from Genoa up to Indian Hills, and it was insane. I think my Garmin clocked the winds using the wind field app at 33 miles an hour. 33 mile an hour headwinds we were going into. Insane. And there was a part I was on a downhill, and I literally, I mean, it was a legit downhill, and I let go of, or I quit pedaling, and I was slowing down, and I was only doing like 7 miles an hour, and I was slowing down. So those headwinds were incredible. But we did. We got to the other end, and then we kicked into the single track section. Now, my buddy Art did the race yesterday. He told me the second section here, which is the second dirt section here, he says that it was just like butter. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic single track. It was a pleasure to ride our bikes along it and around it, and it wound up into the mountain. It was moderate climbing, nothing steep, and it was a lot of fun. There was, I would say over half of it was kind of cliffy. You know, there was a kind of a steep drop off on the left side, the majority of the climb, not all of it, but quite a bit of it. Anyway, did that section, enjoyed it quite a bit. The winds either died down coincidentally around that time, or we were in the shadow of the mountain. I don't know which, maybe a combination of both. But anyway, that dumped us out onto Old Clear Creek Road, and which is, fun fact, the original road up to Lake Tahoe from Carson City. And anyway, we rode that down. There were a couple, evidently they have kind of sectioned this off, and some of it's private property now, which just shocks me. Like, I just kind of feel like that should just be open, but you know, what do I know? Anyway, so we had to kind of duck some fences and get around, but that was a complete downhill back into Carson. Let me tell you, it was only in the 40s all day today. Did not get warm. It was the one day in May in Carson City that it was supposed to get really cold, and of course it was the day we're riding. I was shivering on this downhill because I'm not putting in any effort. I got the wind in my face, and I'm doing 30 miles an hour downhill. Shivering on my bike. It was freezing. But we made it, got home, got back to Carson City, got to my mom's house. She had an amazing spread. We had ribs and all the fixings, and it was a fantastic day. We spent about 30 minutes in front of the fireplace getting warm and reheating our toes and hoping to be able to feel our fingers again. But it was a really fun ride with my brother and sister. Fun to see the old sections that I grew up on, and really glad that we can do it. Hope that we can do something fun like that again soon.
Come give Uncle Scott a hug.